What's up, Juventini? Finally, some action in the mercato. The Douglas Luiz sale to Nottingham Forest is final. We will break down the details, but now what's on deck in the aftermath? We'll look at that. And is Juve considering selling Locatelli? Has Rabiot become a midfield target? Vlahovic shoots himself in the foot, and Zhegrova finds an agreement with Juve. We're going to look at all this right now together. I'm Berto. This is the AJCU channel dedicated to Juventus. It's August 20th. Let's rock with the news, and we kick things off with a done deal. Douglas Luiz heading to Nottingham Forest. Now, originally this was reported to be a sale of 32.5 million euros. This would obviously see us taking a loss. However, as the details unfolded, it is a 2.5 million euro loan to kick things off. And then it is purchase at 30 million euros, and that makes 32.5 million total. And that 1 year loan allows us to take on more of the amortization from what he stands us and sees us essentially break even, maybe come out a little bit on top. So some are quickly praising Comoli, saying grande Comoli. We break even on Douglas Luiz in what was an ugly situation. I don't know if it's anything to really praise. It's break even on a guy that had a lot of interest, and I think it's just status quo. That's just me. And also, there are a lot of rumblings that there is a condition on this obligation, and the condition is number of appearances met for Nottingham Forest. Should he not hit that, that obligation becomes option. So again, let's just wait and see. But for now, it's a done deal, and the medicals are set to go down tomorrow. Now, keeping it in the midfield, because does this automatically mean now Juve go at Matt O'Reilly? Not necessarily. There is a ton of news around the midfield. The first one is Miretti. Miretti's agent has come out and spoken out in an interview claiming he has decided to stay with Juventus. Now, does that just mean he's decided to stay with Juventus, but Juventus hasn't decided on his future? There are also reports claiming that Chiellini and Tudor are a big reason for Miretti deciding to stay. So maybe, just maybe, there isn't an actual midfield pickup coming, and they just see Miretti coming back into the mix as one of these midfield additions, since he was not with the squad last season as he was out on loan. We will see. Meanwhile, you've got another target popping up, and that's Adrien Rabiot. We know what's happened with him in Marseille. He is on the outs. He's available now, and Mirko Di Natale claims it's at 15 million euros. Well, I'm going to share my 2 cents on this one. I don't care if this guy's out there for 5 million euros. This is an absolute joke to even consider. This guy spent 5 years with Juventus. He had one solid season, making an astronomical amount for a salary for the output that we were actually getting outside of that 1 year. Furthermore, just look at what happened at Marseille. I don't even want to consider this guy. You know who I would consider as a target? The guy who just slapped the shit out of him in the locker room. Bring me him, because Juve should have slapped him around when he was with us, acting like a prima donna. And then in the end, we still tried to renew him at a ridiculous wage when no other teams were coming for him. How do you think he landed at Marseille in the first place? He probably thought Real Madrid was coming to get this guy. This guy is out of touch, clueless, and Juve should stay away, in my personal opinion. And 15 million euros as a purchase price does not entice me one bit. Uliano even ridiculed Juventus for how they were acting and treating Rabiot as if he was the second coming of Zinedine Zidane. That's my 2 cents. It's a hell no, and it's a te e vaffanculo to Adrien Rabiot. But that's just me. I can't wait to hear from all of you on that one. Now we get to Locatelli. More rumors about Juventus considering selling Locatelli. Now, There's an 11 million euro a season salary on the table from Al-Ahly to Locatelli. Nico Skira reports that, of course, Locatelli has an undying love for Juventus, but this is a lot of money, and the opportunity is there for him to make serious money, and he would consider it if Juventus wants to sell him, and apparently now it's up to Comoli. But Comoli will only sell for 40 to 45 million euros. I even question that from Nico Skira, that Juve would consider selling their captain 4 days out from the season opener. I'm just not buying it. And I call BS right across the board. I don't think Juve is considering. I don't think Locatelli is considering. If anything, it would be a classic scenario that we've seen with other guys that carry a lot of emotions towards the club, where they would accept a move because they just don't want to be a problem for Juventus. That's what I could see. But honestly, I don't think we'll see any numbers that will entice us to sell Locatelli. And he should still be standing us somewhere between 20 and 23 million euros on the books. So the original offer of 25 is, number one, insulting, but not even close anyways to what Juve would want to see. I'm not buying anything on Locatelli. I believe he stays put. Now, for Zhegrova, apparently agreement in principle reached with Juventus on a salary worth 2.5 million plus bonuses, and Juve now working with Lille to try and make a move. Lille wants 25 million euros. Juve wants to get it at 18 to 20 million euros. Now again, is this going to be what comes in the aftermath of the Douglas Luiz deal? The Douglas Luiz deal is really just a 2.5 million loan. So we don't get that obligation, and there may be conditions to that obligation, but you do free up the salary. So what are we going to do? Kolo Muani is still waiting patiently, and for me, that's the play. I don't think any move leapfrogs Juventus going after Kolo Muani. That's the first piece of business for incoming that I see happening next, if we even get there. For Vlahovic, well, he may have shot himself in the foot for the last time this mercato. We talked about Tade coming in, starting to have discussions with Vlahovic on yesterday's edition, and now we're hearing that it was the same story. Milan needs him to lower his demands. It appears Vlahovic really doesn't have any intention on doing so, and Milan has turned their attention to Victor Boniface, and now they are in negotiations with Bayer Leverkusen to make that purchase. Vlahovic is just, it's insane to me. Does Vlahovic hold the key to us going after Kolo Muani though? Maybe. Are we actually considering using this guy as a backup this season despite all the toxicity around the situation? Maybe. Let's wait and see. We're 4 days out from the opener. We've got a little bit time left in the mercato. Let's see. For now, Luiz is out. Let's see what the aftermath is. And for the match coming up against Parma, it's almost sold out. And Savona, he is going to be missing that one. He just got back to training with the group, but he is going to be missing the season opener. Tomorrow morning, we're live 8:30 a.m. Eastern time for a season preview show. And of course, touch on the latest news around Juventus. And it's going to be a heavy Storm the Barn session. So we want to see you all there. For today, wraps up your news edition. You know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, join our AJC army, and let's mix it up in the comments. Till tomorrow morning, live as always. Fino alla fine. Forza Juventus. Ciao tutti.